none of you thoughts were going to follow me. Everybody's talking about the depth of the defensive line, how you guys are going to be able to roll some guys in. You know, just come what's the state of the line, just coming out of the spring, having a chance to look at the tape.
I think we'll definitely be able to rotate. I mean, that's one thing we'll be able to do. It's just a matter of the combination, when we use them, how we're going to use them. It's just moving through the fall camp, we'll make that decision going on. But I think from the spring game, it shows that we have the depth. Now it's just how we're going to use it.
We hear from the quarterbacks and wide receivers how big the spring is for them in terms of working on their routes. As far as your position group, what's the biggest thing that the defensive lineman can work on in the summer when you can't have the pads on and coaching? What can they
really is back to the base, back to the fundamental technique, working on things that we can't get a chance to do, like drops and sled work, in the boards, video study, those kind of things. Those things we'll do in the offseason.
How's Tracy doing, and how big of an addition will he be coming back to the lineup?
Yeah, it's going to be a bonus for us coming back, actually. I think he's pretty close. We're still monitoring him a little bit. He got some indie work right down the end of the spring ball, but now we'll go full speed, see what happens.
With the rotation, can you talk about the balance you have to walk of wanting to keep your guys fresh, but also wanting to keep your best players out there, maybe a guy like Nick Bosa or whoever you want to say, Tyquan Lewis. So just that balance of keeping guys fresh, but getting your best players out there.
I think that's the end of the day. I tell guys all the time, at the end of the game, our best players got to be on the field. And we're always going to take that philosophy that no matter where we are on the field, substitution-wise, that the game is close, our best guys who's ready to go to make the plays want to be on the field.
And numbers-wise, will the rotation be similar to last year? Is it like top 8 guys or whatever that might be?
We might stretch to 10. We might end up going to 10 guys playing. Depends on the situation that we're in. But we're going to see 10 guys playing.
There's maybe some young guys that came along this spring, guys like Jayshon Cornell, Malik Barrow, whoever comes to mind that's maybe a young guy hasn't played much. But
I think Jayshon's come along a long ways. I think he's got a chance to help us. Malik Barrow is just really coming into his starting to move forward. And Jonathan Cooper, who was hurt most of the spring, but has promised to do well. Rashad Berry's got a chance to help us out. And then, of course, B.B. Landers, I thought, had a good spring.
How is Cooper's health right now? How is Cooper's health?
He had a hamstring. And hamstrings, he's a powerful runner. He runs really hard, really fast. So he's one of those guys you got to watch. So we kind of kept him out to make sure he could go. But he's fine. He's ready to go now.
You got a guy like Chase Young coming in, who maybe in most programs might be coming in as a starter. Here he might be a 4th stringer. How do you think he's going to deal with that about really working his way up the totem pole, so to speak?
Well, we'll have opportunity to compete. I think that's the bottom line. I think the thing we got to be careful about that, even though we have 4 guys returning, those 4 guys got to work to keep their jobs, keep their status. So there's going to be an open process. I'm going to always have the ability to play the best players on the field. And if he walks in and he's ready to go, he's got a chance to help us. And there's a good chance we're going to try to find a way to use him.
Are you pretty excited about him, what he can bring to the table?
No question about it. He has a lot of things that he brings to the table. Not only a great kid, he's a great student in the game. He really loves the game, great football IQ. And he's got some athleticism that I think is really neat for a guy 6'6".
Have you ever had this kind of depth on the defensive line in your career?
Not in a while. Not in a while. This is kind of different.
What makes it so different? I mean, I know you have a bunch of defensive ends.
Interchangeable guys. Guys can do different things. I can take a defensive end and put him at 3 technique, rush the passer, put a guy at nose guard. I think that's what makes them really special. They can all move up and down the line of scrimmage. When you do that, you can get the right matchups you want.
Larry, you mentioned Jonathan Cooper. He's a big-time get for you guys when you guys got him. Can you take me through just his progression from the beginning of his career to now? Has he been slowed by injuries a little bit, or
just a hamstring? And he hit their hamstring this spring. He needed like 700 plays. That's the most young player to get in the spring ball. He had spring ball before last year, but didn't get as many plays as I wanted him to get. This year I was going to soak about 600 in him, and he probably going to get about 225 plays. So we need to give him more volume to get him ready to play in the fall, and we will. He'll get that now through videotape and work off season.
Is that somebody that you think could? I know you guys are deep, and it's going to be hard to get anybody on the field, let alone somebody who's a little younger. Do you think that he's somebody that could?
Yeah, we got to find a way. We got to find a way to keep him fresh, keep these guys fresh. You never know. We're one play away from making a substitution that got something happen. So you hate to write anybody off at this stage.
Can it ever be a problem to have too much talent? I know it's kind of a crazy question.
No, you never can have too much. It's a long season. It's Big Ten Conference, and anything can happen. When you have a lot of guys, all of a sudden, knock on wood, we get a guy hurt, get a dink, and it start changing real fast. And so you got to be ready. I'm always aware that you got to be ready for the next guy to go.
I asked you about Jalen because he's a guy who I was at a breakthrough last year, but he's still not a quote-unquote star. But he takes a leadership role. I know he's a local guy. He was involved with Jacob, that play. What does he mean to the role? What's his potential?
I tell you what, if you go back and watch film at Jalen last year, I thought he played the most consistent on the guys, and I think he's a starter in my mind. I don't look at this guy who's going again. You're a starter, you practice like a starter. He practiced with the one, so to me, he's the one. I think he brings a lot to it. He's got high energy, he's got great leadership skills, and he wants to be great. And you're a guy who works as hard as he's working, being in a position he is right now. I'm really excited about what Jelly can bring to the table. I look forward to watching him play going through this next year.
You guys really had to manage the situation with Nick Bosa last year, and I know his reps continued to increase as the season progressed. Where is he now? And just reflect on how you guys had to kind of manage his reps coming off the ACL last year.
He missed the whole senior year of high school football, and people keep don't remind him of that you push a guy too far, it could be out again. Yeah. And according to his doctors, they wanted to manage the reps too. And so I just thought going into the season, let's not try to overload him too fast. Let's give him a chance to get his feet well, get comfortable playing fast. And as you can see, as he played more, the better he became because he got used to playing, for being on football for 1 year. Now the range is off. We're going to let him go.
So much is expected of him, maybe because of the name, and he was a big-time recruit. I mean, what are realistic expectations for Nick Bosa this year in your opinion?
If he can be better than he was last year, that's really one day at a time, one game at a time. And I think he's got some good things in his toolbox he's working on. If he can improve his game as a sophomore, man, that's all you can ask. So I don't think he's looking to compare himself to Joey, what Joey did his sophomore year. He just want to be a great player, and whatever it takes to do, he's all ears. And that's what I like about him.
It's a big thing for him, though. As much as you guys want to separate him from Joey, I think fans view him as Joey.
Well, that's a comparison from the outside, but from the inside, he does not walk on the field like, I got to do this because Joey did. He's not, I'm telling you, he doesn't think that way. He's not wired that way. He wants to be the best, and he wants to be Nick Bosa so bad. And I think that he knows his big brother is watching him. They're really close. But I think at the end of the day, if he can notch himself and say, this is me, this is who I am, this is my legacy, I think that's what he wants.
How having a full spring and being full go and not having to be recovering from a major knee injury.
I missed the first part of that. How
big is it that he's in this spring not having to recover from a full major knee injury and can go full go, be himself, confident, all the reps he needs? Is this a year where somebody of his age can make a big jump?
Oh, no question about it. You should see that. You already started. Just from spring practice, you see him take a jump because now he's got the reps on his belt. And he's only going to get better as he goes forward.
How high is the ceiling on Dre'Mont Jones, and where is he taking the biggest steps forward?
I'm telling you, I'm not going to try to push him to it. We're just going to let it come natural. I think he's got a chance to be really special, just what he can do from the inside out. And like I said earlier before, that a guy who has great football IQ, who loves the game, now is just kind of putting all that together. And I like where he's going right now. I really do.
The Rushman package, how much of a recruiting pitch is that for you?
It helps some guys when they know how to get on the field. They ask, we have situation, we have package. If you have a real special skill set, we're going to find a way to use that, and that might be in the Rushman package what we do. So you may not be able to play first and second down, but you give your reps a third down. They could get you about 10 or 15 plays a game.
How long have you been using that? I mean, just the pitch, not the. Is that recent in the last couple of years?
No, last couple of years. We've been there for the last 3 years. We've used that.
Has it gotten you anybody? I mean, do you think that's been?
It's been attractive to say that.
Joey, Sam Hubbard in particular, what did you see get better about him as this spring went on? Have you still kind of just scratched the surface with him to some extent?
Oh, no question about it. I think every guy has something to get better on. Nobody's actually where they need to be. And Sam thing we talked about is making his hands faster. Really work on his hips and flipping the hips better. There's always something to get better. When you watch the videotape, those are the things that they want to get. Coach, how can I get better? And that's my job, to find a way to improve them. And that's how I've been approached the whole time.
Could you see that dropping him being part of y'all's package in the fall? Did he show you enough of that?
Well, you guys forget he dropped last year.
Exactly.
This is not brand new now. He dropped last year.
It's kind of like jumping out at us now.
I know, I hear it, but he dropped last year, so it's a continuation of what we do.
Yeah.
He will be that guy, drop in. Jalen will end up dropping sometime too.
Is there a key? Is there a thing about getting better at that? Where has he gotten better at doing that, at being in the right place, at finding his little area?
Oh, no question about it. He's gotten better in his hips. He's actually got better in his drops, understand where the ball's at, where he's got his depth's got to be. Those things are all small things you get to work on when you have the off season.
Hey, Larry, not only on the defensive line, but across the board on the whole defense, how have you seen the depth kind of grown? Because Kerry said that he's got more depth at corner than he's had since he's been here, and he's about to put 2 first-round corners in the NFL. So I'm just curious, you have a ton of depth too, and if you see that at all levels of the defense?
I think, I think everybody's trying to build depth. I think that's the key. If you get a guy who can do something really special, who can do more than just one position. Take Dre'Mont, take Ja'Shawn Cornell. They both came as defensive ends. They're now 3 techniques. Right. So that adds to what we're doing. So it allows you to go get another guy to bring in without changing the chemistry of the room.
Because they can do
multiple things. And I think that's what makes the depth really good. You got guys who can play nose guard, can play 3 tech, can play end. That's how you build depth.
As a 3 technique, it's going to sound stupid because you still got to play 3 technique, but has that position changed in the last 10 years? I mean, You've been
there's-
coaching it for a while.
I think it's a guy that three-tech now is not necessarily the big guy. He's more of an athletic pass rusher because he gets so much one-on-one with the offensive guard.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. You want a guy rushing from the inside, so allow the ends to go for it. And I think Draymond, Jay Sean has that kind of skill set, and Tracy had that when he was here. So we're looking forward to see how those guys continue to develop. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.